Welcome to Last Two Pages, a podcast where two best friends who love to read just can't keep it to themselves. I'm Teresa.
And I'm Megan. On this episode, we will be talking about romantasy. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Lover's Day to all those who celebrate and all of those who don't celebrate.
Is it a happy late Valentine's Day?
No, this is going out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, dang.
So,
wow.
if you don't celebrate, you can enjoy us loving each other in a friendship type of way. In an ushy-gushy kind of way.
Ushy-gushy.
I'm still expecting my letter. Where is this letter you promised me?
I literally wrote it to you on your birthday post. And you said, this is the letter I've been waiting for.
Oh. Super memorable. I didn't get a lock of your hair or a swab of your cheek.
I can still arrange that. We have time.
We have all afternoon.
Shh, don't tell them that.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I don't know. That feels boring. I feel like I'm always good, but honestly, I'm doing pretty good.
Blessed and highly favored.
Oh, so blessed.
Good.
Still recovering from House of Flame and Shadow, but it's okay.
Valid. I don't feel well.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Feel sick to my stomach.
Sick to my stomach and weak in my knees.
How about your personal life? Anything happening to you? Your lips look really cute, by the way. They're very sparkly.
Thank you. I put on your glitter lip gloss.
Yeah, that glitter lip gloss slays.
Yeah, it does.
NYX Cosmetics, man. They just, not sponsored. They get it done.
Every time you say not sponsored, it just cracks me up.
Good.
So someone sponsors so Megan can stop saying not sponsored.
I will talk about you constantly just so I don't have to say not sponsored.
Oh my gosh. No, my personal life, well, it's Valentine's Day, so I feel really single, but
real. I don't.
It's also this, I know, because you've been booed up for like 10 years now.
Not 10, like 5. Actually, I'm really excited. So me and my partner Parker, every time every Valentine's Day, I get him a knife.
Ooh, that's
Isn't that
romantic.
so kind of fun? I love it.
I would love that if someone did that for
I
me.
get him a little like weapon of some sort, and then that's my little gift to him. I get like random things, but
so
it's still,
funny.
we're long distance, so like you got to do what you got to do.
True.
So
True
I
that.
want to make sure he's safe, taken care of, things to wield in case of emergency. That's my love for him.
He's literally like 6'4" and like a bajillion pounds of muscle. I think
6'5" and 260 pounds.
big boy.
Disturbing
Big
man.
boy.
So
Throw a lot of heavy things.
he does. So that's my personal life.
Mm.
So I feel you on the lonely part because I'm not going to Missouri right now. So.
Womp womp.
Wah, wah.
Oh no.
I think by the time this episode comes out, it'll be like 2 months since we've seen each other. So that's lame.
Eesh.
That's lame.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not the longest we've ever gone. I think the longest was 5 months, 4 months without seeing each other. So I'm kind of used to the loneliness, but that's okay. We do a really good job of like keeping contact with each other. So
That's true. You're always chatting.
Chit-chatting with my man. So yeah, Valentine's Day, quite the holiday, truly.
It's such a weird holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the government created it so that a lot of babies could be born at a certain time.
Well, when would that be? October?
Yeah. I don't know. So women are pregnant during voting season.
We need that many Libras.
Yeah.
Okay. Word.
So that emotions are high. The roots of Valentine's
Isn't
Day.
it Libras and Scorpios? There's like Scorpios at the very end of October, I think. That's an interesting. Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Anyway,
government
astrology.
planned. It's a government planned.
Crazy.
From one single girl to the government.
You got him. You nailed him down.
I know.
She's found your plot.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
who's she? She's literally me. Okay.
You are her.
I am. What can I say? I'm in a bubblegum pink sweater. Who'd have thought?
Real.
I'm on theme.
So today we wanted to talk about a few different things. Our favorite bookish couples.
Mm-hmm.
We felt like that was important to talk about.
Yeah.
We have some Romantasy Recs
Mm-hmm.
that you can read during this lovey-dovey season that we are upon, and our ideal bookish partner. So we'll be talking about like all of our favorite things, and that'll be great.
With love.
With the love.
With love.
So, do you have a favorite couple? I assume you do.
I really do, and I almost feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point because I feel like I always bring them up whenever I have the chance, and it's obviously Rowan Whitethorn and Aelin Galathinius Shriver Whitethorn from the Throne of Glass series.
Real. By Sarah J. Maas.
They're just it for me. They always have been since I read it for the first time. Everything about their development, to their relationship, to who they are and what they became together, and how they like support each other, and
Can you give us some background on who Aelin and Rowan are?
How much can I get into? So
I think you should just go into like their relationship. Like, how did it start? How did things like progress? Like, what makes you love them? Love their love.
I think the number one thing is the respect for each other's strengths and picking up each other's weaknesses.
Okay.
They both have lost a first love, and no one else Aelin was ever with went through that the same way as he has, and it's really based off of strength and friendship. And they don't realize how made for each other they are until it like clicks, and it's almost too late. But then she realizes that they're mates, but he doesn't.
It's kind of like a she falls first, but they're falling at the same time. It's
It
like
was definitely
she
a
discovers
she falls first.
Yeah, that's
but then
great.
he falls harder.
That
trope
is so good.
So good. And he knows when to let her have her moment, which is often, but he'll also like,
he is willing to step back.
And he will give her his peace of mind. Like,
I do appreciate that.
Won't back down. But in the end will just support her and respect her. And
I think I appreciate about that couple is that he's willing to go along with her antics to the point where like it's really hurtful to him, but understands. I think there's an understanding of like what Aelin is intending to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like he won't take everything personally. Like, Aelin hates me because of this.
Oh, like
Aelin doesn't care about me. He's like, I understand what got her to that point. You know? I feel like that's a really good trait.
And
in Mr. Rowan.
Everything about before they're even together, he wants to protect her.
Oh, eat that up.
And in a certain scene, when he puts on a certain lotion, and that whole progression of that night is my favorite.
Yeah,
it's so good.
One of my favorite scenes with them is when Aelin had a really hard day. I'm paraphrasing, but she's in the bathtub and like Rowan sees her scars, and I'm not going to go into anything further than that.
And he goes, "Who did this to you?" It's so good. And when they first meet, he punches her. It's great.
Literally.
And she deserved it.
So good.
And she deserved it. And she knew she deserved it. And that immediately, I think, bumped up the respect.
Yeah. I think that was a great, like, the banter that they had was really meaningful. It wasn't just like be an ass to each other. It was like, oh, there's like important pieces within this that we're learning about each other.
And the way that their magic is opposites.
That's hot.
And how they're each other's karanam.
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea. Actually.
I always said like karanam, which is not karanam. I don't know.
And
it's like when you're reading fantasy books and it's just like you see the word and it's like
from the land of blah, 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 she wielded the sword of boob slayer and drum slang.
You would wield the
sword of boob slayer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even with boob slayer still on my mind. Oh, it's just so good. And there's so much hope between them. And the one quote, "You make me want to live not just exist, but live. Oh, wait, that's Rowan saying it to her.
Great memory you have.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's literally just,
Yeah.
you make me want to live, Rowan, not survive, not exist, live.
But they both said it to each other, right, then?
He said it to her later.
Okay. That's adorable.
But in the way that they push each other to be all that they're meant to be.
Agree.
They're just it. Rowan, husband material, 1,000 billion %.
He do be.
He's not just book boyfriend, he's book husband.
Yeah.
And he's beautiful.
That man is sexy. The white hair.
The tattoos.
Does he have green eyes? I think so, right?
And he smells like Terracin.
Like trees.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
you can only imagine
pine
what
and
that
snow.
would be.
Like,
yeah.
come on.
That's fantastic. My
Dream
bookish couple is, come on, we knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Lilac and Tarver from
Yeah.
These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner.
Yeah.
When I tell you the chokehold this couple had on me to this day, but like 10 years, at least 10 years, I think about this couple every single day of my existence. Perfect banter. The banter is like, I have no notes. Whenever they talk to each other, it is like going for the throat every time. They know exactly what the other person has to say to get under that person's skin, or to force them to do something, or to get them to move. And it's for the betterment of the other person. Yeah. Truly. Like it is. The thing that I love about Tarver and Lilac is context, opposite sides of the track. We're talking military man who has seen some horrific combat and who basically is just still in the military to live up to his brother's, not expectation, but his brother died in battle, so it's kind of like for his legacy. Memory, like this is all he can do. Yeah. And so Lilac, on the other hand, is an heiress of a X amount of money corporation. She is a princess, and kind of lets the media believe that she's an idiot and just like a pompous like brat. She is a brat, but
Bryce Quinlan coded,
kind of. Yeah. So, but that's not all there is to her. So crash land, all this stuff happens. I'm not going to get too much into it, but that's like where the banter comes from. They're literally polar opposites. Like, I have never seen a book do polar opposites so well. And the other books in the series also do polar opposites, but this one just hits so much harder. Like, this is corporation versus military state. Like, you can totally see like, oh wow, this is how they grew up. This is how like this piece connects to that. Also love that they never should have met each other. Yeah. This was like fully fated. That's like the only way I can say it. Yeah. Forced proximity to the nth degree. Never should have met each other. Worlds collide. Literally. They also will sacrifice everything for the other person. True. Literally, they were willing to die, starve, be alone forever. Like, they would do anything for the other person. And I don't think many books can portray that story so fully. Because not only do they say that they will give it all, they do give it all. Yeah. Almost every chapter. They do. Almost every chapter, you're getting another like 1-2 punch of like, oh wow, I didn't realize how much Lilac cared for Tarver. I didn't realize how much Tarver cared for Lilac. Yeah. I didn't realize all this, but they won't touch each other. It's so do we still hate each other? Do we? So just read it. Yeah. Also, the other thing that I love about it is that you revisit the relationship within the series, even though they're not the main character through the whole series. Like, it's you learn about their relationship after the book has happened. So like, you're seeing their progression of their relationship through several years, where normally a book just ends and it's like cut, right? You don't even get an afterword. This is an afterword and an afterword and a final finale afterward. Like, you get so much Lilac Tarver content that you really do. Needed. Fully satisfied. Yeah. I like, that is a full circle. Like, yes, the things that they said on that planet were not just on that planet. They meant it. Yeah. So across the universe. Love those two.
So, Romantasy. We both came to the table with 2 recommendations. And what is Romantasy? It, to me, so there's fantasy with romance, and then there's Romantasy, which is a romance with fantasy. Does that make sense?
Like the romance drives the plot more than the actual world building does?
Yes, but it's still like up there. They're pretty even, but the love story is what really pulls you through, I would say.
Okay.
Like I would say Throne of Glass is a fantasy with romance.
Makes sense.
And then a Romantasy, my first recommendation is The Serpents and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Both of my recs are also dark romantasies, so keep that in mind. So it's a dark romantasy that delivers on all the goods while also packing in plenty of mysteries and secrets to keep the plot surging through a gorgeous fantasy world. And it's just the first in the series, so get comfortable because there's a lot more to come. I was on the Barnes & Noble website. It has vampires. Some people are yay nay with vampires. I've talked about the book before. The couple here they remind me a little bit of Aelin and Rowan. And I think that's why I like them. And even the novellas and the romances in the novellas, I love them. They're so good. And they're just solid romances with like a lot of action and surprises and twists and turns.
Twists and turns.
So put that on your list.
Okay. Amazing.
What is yours?
My first recommendation is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I don't know how much I've talked about this book, but it clearly is not enough because not enough people like this book for me to feel like I'm comfortable. So it will be shoved down your throats.
Oh,
so
not enough people have read it.
This book, yes. It is a Why Choose, which is fantastic.
Love that.
But there's an amazing magic system. There's diverse characters, not only in culture, but also in sexuality and identity, which I think is super important, especially when we're talking about romance books. Like, we want to give you all the goods. So not only is it a Why Choose, but you're getting the cream of the crop of everyone in this book. It's fantastic. It also, the Why Choose is very between light energy and dark energy.
Oh, so of course. Love that.
So good. Yeah, it's great. And the person that's making this choice is like the gray energy, I would call it. Like, it is. It's not only that like these 3 are tied, soul bound to each other. Like, it is also just, it's a mixing pot of filth. Not in like a spicy way, but like the amount of things that have happened to these 3 characters are like irrevocably.
I think you had it right the first time. Irrevocably.
I am changed.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Like, yeah, I will never shut up about the series. I really want to reread. I say that about every book I talk about on this podcast, but oh, wow. If you want a good Why Choose and a great magic system that's going to leave you thinking afterward, that's not just like, the heavens have blessed us with magic and now we can turn into animals. Read Legendborn by Tracy Deonn.
I feel like I did not hype Serpents and the Wings of Night up as much as you just do. It's really good. It's kind of got Hunger Games vibes.
That actually changed my opinion on it. Wow. Okay.
It does.
I really do need to read that.
It does.
I need to read it.
But you should also read Legendborn. That sounds.
You should read Legendborn.
I know. I should.
We have too many books on our list right now. It's just, okay.
So great.
Another book.
My other one, also dark romance. There's some trigger warnings. Actually, a lot. It's kind of like a little darker. Oh. It is called Guild by Raven Kennedy. It's now going on 5-6 books, and it had some twists in there that I never saw coming.
Okay.
It's a King Midas somewhat retelling, but then not at all.
Interesting.
And the enemy, we love him. We love him so much. Oh, Rain. But it's like a Midas reimagined, and you just start with this character who's in a cage, and everything is gilded in gold around her because the king can do that, and she's like his little pet. I don't know what to say without spoiling it, but the magic system was really neat. It's kind of in the same like playing field as Serpents and the Wings of Night.
Okay.
But what all happens and then what you learn about the Fae and everything about it, the twists and turns, and there's some things that I was like, come on. But for like a easy dark romance, I 100% recommend Guild. There's the Goodreads. It starts with the Fae abandon this world to us, and the ones with power rule. Gold floors, gold walls, gold furniture, gold clothes. In Highbell, in the castle built into the frozen mountains, everything is made of gold, even me. The main character's made of gold. King Midas.
That's a slay.
He rescued me, dug me out of the slums, and placed me on a pedestal. I'm called his precious. It's giving Lord of the Rings. Precious. His favored. I'm the woman he gold touched to show everyone that I belong to him, to show how powerful he is. He gave me protection, and I gave him my heart. And even though I don't leave the confines of the palace, I'm safe. Until war comes to the kingdom and a deal is struck. Dun dun dun! Suddenly my trust is broken. My love is challenged. And I realize that everything I thought I knew about Midas might be wrong. Because these bars I'm kept in, no matter how gilded, are still just a cage. But the monsters on the other side might make me wish I'd never left.
Might make me horny, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, maybe a little. But
the monsters on the other side.
It's really good. It's really entertaining. I read it pretty quick.
I think it does sound really good. A gold girly work. I'm more of a silver girly, but
you are, but I'm a gold girly.
I can accept. Dope.
Yeah.
My final book is a series. I have talked about it before. I'm sorry. You want to talk about beating a dead horse? Let's talk about the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. For real though, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, this is a great
for real.
A romance series in sci-fi, not fantasy, but like you're getting your classic fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people, they read a romance book, they want tropey. They want like the things we've seen 100 times, and what better way than a fairy tale retelling? Truly. You're like, if we want to just talk about the men, girl, you want royal and loyal. Dark or misunderstood. Ooh. Charismatic and funny. Serious and brooding. Those are the 4 books, and the 4 men.
That's everything, actually.
Choose. Well, what are you gonna choose?
Amazing.
And don't get me started on the women, because literally the amount of like differentiation between every single character, eat that up. Every single man has a perfect woman for him in this series.
We love that.
The exact, not opposite, but complementary. Like, and that's what you want to see. That dynamic needs to be complementary. Every single couple is paired so perfectly. Like, it's a YA. You're not going to get the spice. You're just not. But you're going to get those moments that you have been itching for.
Yeah.
Itching for. Like, just amazing. And they all interact with each other. Every single one of them interacts with each other. They build on the next book. So you're getting the couples over and over and over again. And the banter between the couples. And the banter between certain characters of the couples.
Oh, banter.
It's a smorgasbord. It is literally a charcuterie board of like...
It's a Charlotte's Web. Don't they have a smorgasbord in the Charlotte's Web?
Yeah, it's the rat singing it. I don't remember. Templeton. How the shit did I remember his name?
His name is... Oh my gosh.
The rat's name is Templeton.
I've never wanted to eat garbage more. That's me with dark romances. Actually, no, the writing's good.
What garbage did you want to eat from Charlotte's Web?
There were some apples that looked mighty fine.
For me, it was the popcorn.
Oh.
It was like
Ratatouille.
Buttery.
The cheese. Or the cheese and the strawberry.
Oh, we haven't eaten yet today, so I think that's why this is.
I ate a cheese stick.
Your perfect man.
Yes.
Or partner.
Our
or whatever.
Fictional man. Because there's a lot of things that fictional men do that would never pass.
Never.
In the real world.
Never would happen.
Like, some of the things they say, I'm like, if a real man would say that to me, the barking would not be the good kind. There's the good kind of barking, and then there's...
You want a man to bark at you?
No, I want to bark at my man.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But so our ideal fictional men, what are they for you?
It's arrogant. Let's just start at the top. I love myself an arrogant man. Give me a man that is so sure of himself that the world will move around him, whether his eyes are open or closed. Like, literally, don't question that, okay?
Like,
anyway, no,
the math
literally,
is not
I need
mathing.
like that. It's not important to me, but there's something about like she's his only weakness.
Yeah.
For me,
Yep.
that's like,
Yep.
yeah, obviously I'm his only weakness. Are you kidding me?
See, mine is the same confidence and arrogance, but like you like the swaggering arrogance, and I like the quiet confidence that like he knows, or like he's so powerful, like he doesn't even need to speak it. Like he just like dominates the space.
Yeah.
And his power, and he doesn't even need to say anything about it.
Yeah.
Just like how Bryce describes Hunt kind of in Crescent City.
Yeah.
How anytime he enters a room, it's like his power just like
Crackling.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear that, I think of Pop Rocks. It's like the lightning's crackling around him. I'm like, that's a Pop Rock.
That's kind of a good.
Yeah, I know. I can't make it with my mouth,
but the sureness of him and then the sureness of her within him. You know what I'm saying?
Real. See, for me, if we're just gonna like relate it to Sarah J. Maas men, like the way Rhysand flaunts his power and is like, oh, that's cute. Like at every opportunity to anyone who's ever tried to best him in his entire life.
Yeah.
That is so hot to me.
And he's got to be a warrior.
Anyway.
And there has to be a training sequence.
No.
I love some mat time.
A training sequence.
I love
No.
Megan doesn't like it, but I love it.
It's not realistic to me. I say as I'm like a man with wings, but no, I'm just kidding. But for real, like for me, it just is like, yeah, the last thing I want to do is to have my man watch me do push-ups.
No, I like
for like the next
when they're
6
like
weeks.
sparring and they're getting pinned to the mat. Like, come on.
Just pin me on something else.
It
doesn't have to be a sparring mat.
That's
I would
true,
get my
that's true.
knocked out of me.
That's
I'd be
true.
like running to the like off the mat.
This is true.
His power blast into me and I'm put against the rock wall because I ran from the mat. Like I'm not that girl that's about to fight a man. Like,
see, you like the man to be the dominant.
yeah. Yeah. I like the mental games. I like the physical games. Like, yeah, I am weaker than you.
Yeah.
But you're still a
Yeah. The protection. And I like when they both bring almost the same strength to the table. That's why I love Aelin and Rowan so much, because they're both so powerful and they're on like the same playing field, but like he knows when to let her have her moment, but also like vice versa. And just when they're both strong and kick-ass, it's so much more fun to read about, because it's like, don't give me that she's like the weakling in the corner and he's just like always protecting her, like in the beginning of Shatter Me.
But that's my thing, is you can have such a good arc.
That's true.
With that, like for me, it's like she might have nothing and come from nothing, and he still is willing to bend heaven and hell for her.
I like her to stand on her own 2 feet more. What's your ideal physical characteristics?
Beefy.
Yeah.
If there's any other way to put it, like I want a strong man. Give me shoulders. Give me back.
Absolutely, same. Give me taller than me. The Lorcan,
Wow, 5'3".
Lorcan being 5'2". Lorcan being like what, 7 foot is just so not right in my mind. There's no way
On what planet?
Lorcan from Throne of Glass is that tall. And Elite
Lorcan's actually an alien.
I think Elite, it's like Planet of the Barbarians or like this planet. But isn't Elite like 5'2" or 3"? I think she's short.
5'5".
And then he's
I think
like
she's average.
7 foot like 3. That's too tall. And I used to think I was a purely brunette But now fantasy, those blondes are getting me. But I'll always love a dark curly haired.
Yeah.
I'll always love him.
Yeah. I do love it. Especially when it's like he has wet hair or something and it's like the ringlets. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah. Get into it.
Knees. Absolutely.
I pictured you more with like a Caillou character. Just bald head. Just kidding. Can you imagine? You both have shaved heads. Teresa shaved her head.
Knocking on forehead. I did 2 years ago.
That was so brave of you. Like, I think about that a lot.
Really?
I can't believe you did that.
It literally was nothing. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I thought there'd be a bigger emotional change, but I think it's because I always just wore my hair up anyways, and I've always wanted the excuse to shave my head. And my friend got cancer. She's okay. She's fine. Like, she really low, like, we called it like stage 1.5. We jokingly called it fun cancer.
From the time you've shaved your head, you have like progressively done more girly hairstyles and like more female presenting hairstyles. Like, I don't know what happened within that, but like you feel like you're so much more comfortable in your femininity.
I am. And that was a huge thing with, like, when I first shaved my head, I felt like a huge badass. And then the growth period was so awkward, 13-year-old boy, that I like, it then transitioned to like my clothes became more feminine because I'm like, I came more into my femininity and like womanhood through it. And also like making my bookstagram, that helped with it.
Yeah.
Cause like I've never really been super feminine presenting like ever. I've always been described as a tomboy. And then not having hair, like that was my signifier being a woman, that and my big boobs. And then it was just like no hair.
Hard to miss.
Boobs. And so I got to do hairstyles I never even thought of trying.
Mm-hmm. Like this pigtail moment you have going on is so cute.
Bangs. I would never have done bangs if I hadn't had like been growing my hair out.
Yeah.
And then now I'll never grow it past here because I love this length. Because I had really long hair in high school, but I always wore it in a ponytail.
Yeah, you truly did.
And I had like some sensory issues with like hair on my neck, and like having a shaved head is amazing. It's so easy. I only really I was fuzzy for a bit, and that was kind of, but then it was like an inch. Mm-hmm. I recommend everyone to shave their head at least once in their life.
Here's the thing. Think of me shaving my head.
Work.
No. I have a melon.
And
on me. This would not look cute shaved.
I was so scared about not having a good shaped skull, but honestly, I had a great shaped skull for a shaved
Your mom did tummy time.
My mom did put me on my tummy when I was a baby. And I think it's for people whose more of their identity and their image lie within their hair. It would be way harder. And that's
me,
you, and a lot of our other friends. But my hair was never...
That's absolutely correct.
I never did anything with my hair. And now this has caused a whole thing. So everyone shave their head. What are we reading right now?
Wow.
Thank you.
Fancy.
I'm finishing my reread of Throne of Glass. So shocker why I've been beating this dead horse of Rowan and Aelin, but...
You should say that one more time.
Rowan and Aelin.
No, beating a dead horse.
Beating a dead horse.
You like to beat horses. That's all I'm hearing. You've said it like 6 times.
Is there another phrase that works? No. So... but I'm in my Kingdom of Ash reread, and I just love these books. Dang it, Sarah J. Maas. What did she put in her books?
Crack. It might be crack.
It might be. What are you reading?
I have started Julia, which is like a 1984 retelling.
Isn't it like
by Sandra Newman?
The Response, kind of, or her.
It's kind of like the feminist version of 1984, and it's about all of the pieces that like you don't really know about. Like 1984 is written from a very like male heteronormative point of view, where I think this is about Julia and her fight in the expectations of being a woman in a society that is so like oppressive and expects you to know nothing. And
interesting.
Maybe some parallels to today. It's been a really fun read though. I've loved Julia in 1984. She was a great like dynamic character. So I'm really curious of how it's going to progress. I've just been excited.
It's kind of giving Red and Blue from This Is
Yeah.
How a Time War.
Yeah.
This Is How to End a Time War.
Yeah. It's a really fun, like, I really liked 1984 when I read it, and I'm doing my partner promised that he'd do a buddy read with me, so we are waiting for that to decide what that book's going to be. Parker's not a reader, but he was an English major, so it's very interesting. I'm really excited to do that. So this is like my interim classic book, because I'm really trying to be good about not being afraid of classics, and we're doing so good, and I want to keep on that train.
You're doing amazing,
I'm
sweetie.
so brave. So brave.
So brave.
Thank
the
you.
bravest. And thank you all for hunkering down and listening to us talk about love. And hug your loved ones for us, or hug yourself.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
It's been 18 years, maybe 19 years now.
A whole adult.
Lifetime.
A whole adult.
A whole lifetime of knowing you.
Nova, will
Don't
you be
regret an
my
instant.
Valentine? Nova. She's ignoring me. She's the cat.
She's my Valentine.
No, you have Parker. Nova's my Valentine.
Okay.
I'll be the single cat lady. And we'll see you on the next page.